Welcome to this Anthem tutorial on animated gradient backgrounds and gradient backgrounds. So you'll see several sections on the home page here where this one, for example, the background is animating from color to color. Or right here, here's a gradient background that is pretty subtle with the two colors. And then we also have these thin divider lines, 3-pixel divider lines that start at a blue color and gradient into a orange color. I'll start with this color here. Okay, so for that first gradient line, I have them back here as full width modules, and they're labeled gradient line. The easiest way to use these would be to right click and copy on the section and just paste it where you want to use it. But if you want to see how to make it, basically you have a full width section area, and I've left it as a default kind of deal. There's no classes or IDs on it. And then I have this full width code module that the content is empty, but the custom CSS, I'm setting a height of 4 pixels, and then I have this gradient code here. So here's a fallback color here, and then here are the different background image gradient CSS codes for the different browsers. And then you have your two gradients here. Here's the first one there, and then the second color, and that's just going down. So you'd replace these colors with the colors that you would like to use. Same thing as, here's a couple more of those gradient lines. The same thing is true for the number counter. So I'm going to go ahead and find that. So I'm applying the gradient effect here on this section. And so here's my fallback color that I've set. But then in the custom CSS, I have pretty much the same code with just different hex numbers for the colors that I want to use. And then lastly, for our animated gradient background, I have my fallback color here. And then for the CSS, there's none in here. I actually have a class, ANTHEM animated gradient. And so I'll show you that in the code here. That will be in the CSS file. So you could copy this and you could change it if you wanted to use this effect in a different spot on the site, but with different colors. You would need to change it here. But here we have our linear gradient, and here are the different colors that we're using. And then basically this just keeps the background size large enough for what we're trying to do with the animations. Here's how many seconds it's going to spread the animation across. And I had it on 30 seconds to start with, which I really liked, but it took a while to see the effect. And so for demo purposes, I raised it to 20 seconds. And these other features, you can play around with them if you'd like, but I would recommend just leaving them as it is. This feature, this animated gradient, is a little processor intensive. I have noticed that if I leave the page running, you'll notice I closed the page earlier. If I leave the page running with this animated gradient, over time it slows down performance of the browser, especially back here in the page builder area. So I would use this effect sparingly. It is cool, but again, subtlety is key, and just using it in a key spot. For example, I had thought about, well, maybe I should animate all of these background sections and all of the divider lines too. This could be animating at a faster pace, but I think that would be distracting to the eye, and it would just be too processor intensive. So again, if you want to use that animated feature, make sure you have the class here on the section, Anthem Animated Gradient, or to make it easy on yourself, just right click on the section and copy. And then same with the other gradient backgrounds. There are a couple other ones throughout the site, like here's one here that's got these shapes. See if I can find that area. There we go. It's got a full width row here, and this full width row has this shapes background, which is just these shapes here with a light overlay. And then the background color of that section, here's the fallback, but it's actually the CSS gradient. And so that's what's getting the purple to the blue. So, and then here's another one that's got the purple to the blue behind the slim opt-in. So there are quite a few here to choose from, and then easy for you just to go into Photoshop, find new colors, or use Inspect Element, and you could find some new colors to swap out. So yeah, that's how you use the gradient backgrounds in Anthem.